Hey, it's Chris. This is the iPad Pro. No surprise around here. It's one of my favorite devices. I've got some really great accessories to share with you today that I've been checking out. I want to start with this. Yes, it's a piece of wood. Yes, it obviously goes on the back of your iPad. It's a super unique mount. It's magnetic, but instead of just being a regular old mount, it actually mounts to a mic stand. So everybody these days seems to have a podcast, but even if you don't, whether you just have a Zoom setup for video conferencing at your desk or something, you may have a mic stand nearby in the vicinity. And that's where this connector right here comes in really handy, because it will actually let you screw this onto your mic stand and then mount your iPad just like that. So there's a lot of ways that this could potentially enhance your workflow if you're into music, podcasting, or video production. It's just such a nice, minimal, thin way to connect your iPad, and convenient too with this magnetic mount here, that it's hard not to recommend it if you're looking for something a little different with a really secure, strong connection. So if you're looking for something that's stylish, very durable, that's minimal, it's just gonna look good in your space on top of everything else, man, this is a really cool mount. Really been enjoying it. Now, I do have some productivity related accessories, but before we get to that, just kind of keeping with the theme here, I do want to introduce you to this Lewitt Connect 6 audio interface, which as you can see will let you plug in two XLR microphones, but then you can plug this directly into, your Mac, but your iPad, even your iPhone, so that you can record amazing audio from your Apple devices right into the device that you're probably going to be editing on. So wow, this has been such a time saver for me, because I've been using a big Rode interface, which I know for a long time people thought of as kind of the pinnacle of interfaces for just easy plug and play stuff for, your prosumer market. With the Connect 6, things could not be simpler for those of you who want to do everything on your iPad. You get two studio grade preamps here, zero latency, DSP effects. I mean, this is a heavy hitting audio interface that really simplifies your life. It's got an auto setup here, so you get these sound effects and everything just right out of the box. It's plug and play. So if you're planning on doing anything professional and you want to save some money versus like a Rode setup, and you want something that's actually pretty portable, this fits right in your bag. This is such a great piece of kit. Now, we're gonna get to some productivity stuff here in just a second, so let me just mention, I do have a productivity course that's on sale right now, one of the biggest sales we've ever had. It's been a while since it was on sale, so check it out if you need to get more done in less time in the Apple ecosystem with less burnout. That's a big part of it. Check it out. It's linked up down below, 50% off right now for a limited time. But next, I want to introduce you to something I've been using a lot. It's the LaCie 2TB mobile SSD, which I actually picked up at the Apple store. This is an official Apple sold accessory. And what I like about it is we all know Apple storage is expensive. I originally got this for my iPhone, but it's nice and fast and quick, and 2 terabytes for a pretty decent price. So that if you didn't upgrade your iPad right at the get-go when you purchase your iPad. I've tried a lot of different SSDs, including the Samsungs, and this is just one of my favorite, most reliable, most compact ways to get high-speed data transfer with secure encryption. So if you're a professional on the go with high storage needs, this has got to be your go-to. Nice and thin, and the encryption is really unique. Really excited to share with you this. This is the Keychron K60. I've used several Keychron mechanical keyboards in the past. This is by far my favorite. It's wireless or wired, and it's heavy. It's super premium. I mean, this thing is a tank. It's solid, so it's really not something that's meant to be portable. But I got the brown switches, and for a mechanical keyboard, that means this is about as quiet as it gets. Now, it's compact. That means you'll notice that it doesn't have arrow keys, so you may need to do some secondary key mapping and functionality to kind of tweak this to get it exactly how you might want it. But really, that's sort of the whole point of a mechanical keyboard, right? It's not just plug and play like something you're gonna get from Logitech. This is an enthusiast keyboard. Now, it's a 60% HHKB layout, and that impacts my productivity because number one, it's nice and ergonomic. I really enjoy typing on this, and I've typed a lot. I put a lot of mileage on this, let's say. There's something about these brown switches. This is not like Apple switches, if you're used to those. It's something totally different. And it takes a little getting used to if you aren't familiar with the mechanical and the brown switches. But there's just something about it that I really like. And you can see I got the Mac command key here. You could get this with the Windows keycap as well and map it if you want. So I actually like to pair this with one of the other accessories that I want to share today. It's the 12 South Hoverbar Tower Stand, which is really tall. My number one use for the tower stand has been meetings. I like to stand up when I'm on a meeting with somebody on Microsoft Teams, let's say, connect with my business partner this way very often, and I'll stick the iPad up, and it's just like standing up and having a conversation with somebody at eye level. But also when I sit down either at the desk or I got a chair in the corner of the office where I like to sit and do some work, I'll get to typing on the Q60 Max here, and I'll have the iPad on this mount, at eye level again, so I'm not having to look down at the desk. And it's just really flexible. So number one, I can move it around without having to worry about it falling over, which is great. So it's very versatile, more versatile than just the regular hover bar that sits on your desk. So in other words, the main feature is that it's really flexible. So if you're just shopping for iPad stands that go on your desk, you're gonna be out of luck if you want to stand up, or if you want it to come and float over your monitor on your desk or something. This allows for crazy creative setups and flexible setups that just aren't possible otherwise. Now, I do just want to briefly mention another keyboard option. This company was supposed to send this to me and they never did, but I think it's worth just putting on your radar. It's the Typecase Folio. I'd call it more of a budget-friendly keyboard case option. And if you're the kind of person who really likes to have backlit keys and you feel like that adds a little personality to your setup, it might be worth looking into. They have a swivel mount. So for instance, if you're in a meeting and you want to swivel the iPad around while keeping the keyboard aimed at you and show somebody across from you what's on the screen, you can do that. So it's a little more versatile than I'd say other keyboard options out there. It is unique, but at the same time, I haven't tested it. So keep that in mind. So that does it for this roundup. I've covered so many iPad accessories in the past. I could just rattle off some of my favorites, but instead I'm gonna let you go explore. I'll link up some of my favorite videos of favorite iPad accessories so you can do some continued exploration. Don't forget to check out the course, 50% off again for a limited time. It's been a while since we did a sale, so make sure you don't miss out on that. Again, if you're new around here, there was a time, and it was between when I started this channel, it was actually far after I started this channel, and now, where I didn't really know anything about productivity. I just kind of went about my business willy-nilly, not really thinking about stuff. And then I made a point to really learn all the productivity tools and techniques. And you know what? I read a bunch of books. And that's what I summarize a lot of that in the course and tell you how to make the most of your time. It's really like a superpower to be able to be more efficient. All of these accessories, that's one thing. But if you know how to better use your time, regardless of the Apple device that you're using to get things done, you'll have more time for yourself, time to learn, time for family, time for free time or your hobbies. You'll be able to use that time to do things like have a side project or make more money, get ahead at work. There's so many benefits. So take advantage of the sale. I don't want to oversell it, but it was very valuable in my life, life-changing when I learned all these productivity techniques. It's really the best accessory you can have is the productivity knowledge. That's what I'm trying to say. Enough for this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Later.